Have you ever wondered about our place in the universe or the limits of the human body? What if the very definition of being human was about to change forever? The Blackwell Corporation envisions a future where technology and biology merge, unlocking new human potential. Are we ready to step into this new tomorrow? The Blackwell promise is here. Every revolution has its visionary. For this new age, that visionary is Dr. Michael E. Blackwell, founder of the enigmatic Blackwell Corporation. His work is shrouded in secrecy. Once a rocket scientist, he now explores the universe within the human body. Dr. Blackwell is no longer just a scientist, he's the architect of a new future. The core of Dr. Blackwell's revolution is a piece of technology that sounds like it was pulled from the pages of science fiction. These are not just small computers, they are nanoprocessors. Devices so infinitesimally tiny they can be introduced into the human bloodstream. Their destination is the most fundamental unit of life, the cell. Once inside the body, these nanites navigate the intricate pathways of our circulatory system. They seek out and enter our red blood cells, our white blood cells, and every other cell that makes us who we are. Their size is so perfectly engineered that they can do something once thought impossible. They can replace the nucleus of a cell itself. Imagine a computer processor. But instead of processing code for an application, it processes the biological code of life. Each nanoprocessor possesses computational power that dwarfs that of the most advanced quantum computers we can currently conceive. They are not just sitting inside the cells, they are becoming the new control center. They monitor, they regulate, and when necessary, they act. This is not just a merger of man and machine. It is the complete integration of a superior intelligence at the most basic cellular level of our being. This is the dawn of a new biological reality, where our bodies are no longer governed solely by the ancient rules of DNA. The primary design of this technology is to save and sustain life in ways never before possible. In the event of catastrophic injury or illness, the nanoprocessors can take radical action. If a body loses too much blood, for instance, the processors can replicate themselves and the cells they inhabit, effectively replacing lost body fluids entirely. They can work together to rebuild damaged tissue, replicating cells with perfect precision. They can reconstruct complex organs like the heart or liver, and even repair the delicate structures of the eyes and ears.
They hold the blueprint of a healthy human body and possess the power to build it, cell by cell. Communication between these trillions of microscopic machines is instantaneous and flawless, even with quantum bionic parts, sending touch and movement sensations to the brain. They achieve this through a phenomenon known as quantum tunneling, allowing them to share information across the entire biological system without any delay. It is as if the body becomes a single, unified hive mind, with every cell in constant communication with every other cell. This network allows for a coordinated response to any threat, whether it's a virus, a wound, or the simple process of aging. The body becomes a self-repairing, self-optimizing system, managed by a network of impossibly powerful microscopic guardians.
The purpose of Blackwell's nanotech extends far beyond simply healing and revival. While preserving life is its primary function, the technology is designed to enhance it in truly extraordinary ways. Once integrated into the host's biology, the nanoprocessors begin to optimize the body's functions. They reinforce muscle fibers, increase the efficiency of oxygen transport, and quicken the firing of neural synapses. The result is a human being with strength, speed, and reflexes that far exceed the peak of natural human potential. An ordinary person could be transformed into an athlete of superhuman caliber, their physical limits pushed to new, unimaginable frontiers.
This transformation effectively creates an entirely new type of life form. While the person may look and feel like themselves, their underlying biology has been fundamentally rewritten. They are no longer purely biological. They are a hybrid of organic matter and advanced technology, a perfect synthesis of flesh and processing power. This new being would not only excel in everyday life, but would be uniquely equipped for specialized and extreme adventures. The boundaries that have confined humanity to its home planet for millennia would begin to dissolve. The new human would be ready to face the unknown. Consider the challenges of deep space exploration. The human body is ill-suited for the harsh realities of space. It is vulnerable to radiation, muscle atrophy in zero gravity, and the psychological strains of long-term isolation. With Blackwell's technology, these challenges become manageable. The nanoprocessors could constantly repair radiation damage at a cellular level, stimulate muscles to prevent decay, and even regulate brain chemistry to maintain mental stability. A journey to Mars or beyond would no longer be a one-way trip fraught with peril, but a feasible expedition for these enhanced individuals. They would be the pioneers of a new era of exploration. Furthermore, this technology would allow humans to explore planets with environments vastly different from Earth's. Imagine walking on a world with twice the gravity of our own, or breathing in an atmosphere with a different chemical composition. The nanoprocessors could adapt the body in real time. They could strengthen the skeletal structure to withstand immense gravitational forces, or alter the respiratory system to filter and process alien air. Humanity would no longer be searching for Earth-like planets. It could adapt to become a multiplanetary species, capable of calling any corner of the galaxy home. The human form would become the ultimate all-terrain vehicle.
The creation of these revolutionary nanomachines was not a sudden breakthrough. It was actually the culmination of a lifetime of secret, solitary work by Dr. Blackwell. For decades, he toiled away, experimenting with his novel scientific equations and theories that existed only in his mind.
The algorithms that govern the processors were a monumental undertaking in themselves. It took him a full decade to develop them from start to finish, a process that included countless checks and balances to ensure their perfection. This was not a task that could be outsourced or shared. It required a singular, uninterrupted focus. Crucially, all the complex mathematics and algorithmic design were performed entirely within Dr. Blackwell's own mind. He deliberately avoided using any external computers to store his data or calculations. In an age of digital espionage and constant threats of hacking, he understood that the only truly secure location for his world-changing discoveries was inside his own head. This incredible feat of mental discipline ensured that his intellectual property could not be stolen or leaked. His confidence in his mental calculations was absolute, honed by his early days contributing to the exacting mathematics of the space program, where a single error could mean disaster. As his projects grew more ambitious, Dr. Blackwell realized he was approaching the limits of his own cognitive abilities. To continue his work and to design the next generation of his inventions, he needed an upgrade. He needed to enhance his own mind to unlock new levels of computational skill and mathematical insight. And so, he became the first recipient of his own technology. The nanoprocessors were integrated into his system, not just to protect his secrets, but to expand the very intellect that created them. This allowed him to continue his personal projects, which remain largely undisclosed to this day. The results of these new projects are occasionally visible to those who know where to look. Unidentified spacecraft of incredible design and capability have been spotted in the skies, moving in ways that defy our known laws of physics. These are believed to be Dr. Blackwell's personal inventions, the fruits of his enhanced mind. The secrets of his technology are now locked away more securely than ever before. They are not stored on a server or in a vault, but within the nanoprocessors flowing through his own veins, making them impossible to extract. The greatest secret in the world is kept in plain sight, hidden within the man who discovered it.
To understand the Blackwell revolution, we must shrink our perspective, down to a world measured in micrometers, where trillions of cells perform an intricate dance of life. Here, Dr. Blackwell's nanites begin their silent mission, autonomous, biocompatible explorers, smaller than a virus, yet more powerful than any computer. They spread, mapping every cell, preparing the body for a fundamental upgrade, an invisible transformation, felt by none, seen by no one. The Blackwell nanite is a marvel, flexible, adaptive, and camouflaged to blend with our cells. Its crystalline core processes trillions of calculations per second, analyzing and repairing at the molecular level. Powered by the body's own energy, these nanites become a permanent living part of us, silent guardians, enhancing and protecting life. The nanite replaces the cell's nucleus, becoming its new command center. It stores perfect digital DNA, controls all cell functions, and repairs genetic flaws. Trillions of cells are transformed, making the body a high-performance machine, fully managed by a superior intelligence. How do these nanites get their power? The genius of Dr. Blackwell's design is that they tap directly into the body's own energy. drawing a tiny bit of ATP from our cells' mitochondria. This process is so efficient, the body barely notices. The nanites become a seamless part of us, powered by life itself. At the heart of every living cell is DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid that carries our genetic instructions. This complex molecule is like a biological programming language, a code written with 4 chemical bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. This code dictates everything about us, from the color of our eyes to our susceptibility to certain diseases. Dr. Blackwell's nanites are not just capable of reading this language, they are fluent in it. When a nanite replaces a cell's nucleus, its first task is to perform a complete and perfect scan of the original DNA, storing this master blueprint in its memory. This ability to read the genetic code with perfect fidelity is revolutionary. It allows the nanite to act as a constant diagnostic tool. In every cell it occupies, it can compare the current state of the DNA to the original, pristine copy it has stored. Over a lifetime, DNA can accumulate damage from environmental factors like UV radiation or toxins. These small errors can lead to cancer and other diseases. The nanites detect these errors the moment they occur. They can identify a single misplaced base pair out of the 3 billion that make up the human genome. This constant vigilance means that genetic mutations are caught and corrected before they can ever cause a problem. The true power, however, comes from the ability to not just read, but to write. The nanites are equipped with molecular tools that can edit the DNA sequence. This is far beyond our current gene editing technologies like CRISPR. The nanites can rewrite entire sections of the genetic code with surgical precision, without any risk of off-target effects. This means they can permanently cure genetic disorders. A person born with cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia could have the faulty gene corrected in every single cell of their body, effectively erasing the disease from their biology, as if it never existed. This right capability also opens the door to enhancements. While the primary directive is to maintain the original human blueprint, the technology has the potential to add new code. For example, genes from organisms that are highly resistant to radiation could be integrated into the human genome, providing natural protection for astronauts in deep space. Genes for enhanced night vision or a more acute sense of smell could be activated. The nanites hold the power to not just repair the book of life, but to write entirely new chapters, carefully and deliberately upgrading the human biological operating system according to the user's needs and environment. A single nanite is powerful, but its true strength comes from the collective. Trillions of nanites communicate instantly through quantum entanglement, forming a unified network. A signal from one nanite reaches all others at the exact same moment, no delay. This transforms the body into a perfectly efficient, super-intelligent machine. Blackwell nanites are microscopic surgeons, repairing the human body with precision. They heal wounds perfectly, erase scars, and even rebuild organs and nerves, far beyond natural healing. By constantly repairing cells, they slow aging and keep us healthy, making permanent damage a thing of the past. There are injuries so catastrophic that repair is not enough. A limb might be severed, an organ destroyed, or a person might suffer massive blood loss. In these extreme situations, the Blackwell technology moves beyond mere repair and into the realm of complete replication. When the quantum network detects damage on this scale, it triggers an emergency protocol. The nanites, which are already present in every cell of the body, can use the available biological matter and their own substance to initiate a process of rapid, controlled replication. They can build new cells from scratch, following the perfect genetic template they hold in memory. Imagine, for a moment, a soldier loses a hand in an explosion. The nanites at the site of the injury would immediately cauterize the wound at a cellular level to prevent blood loss. Then, they would begin the process of regrowth. Drawing energy and basic molecular components from the bloodstream, the nanites would start to fabricate new cells: bone, muscle, nerve, skin. They would act as a biological three-dimensional printer, constructing a new hand, layer by layer, with perfect anatomical accuracy. The process would be astonishingly fast, with a complex appendage being fully regrown in a matter of hours or days, not years. The new hand would be a perfect, fully functional replica of the original. This replication ability is not limited to limbs. It extends to the most complex organs. If a person's kidneys fail, the nanites can construct two brand new, perfectly functioning kidneys within the body. If the eyes are damaged beyond repair, the nanites can dissolve the old structures and build new ones, including the intricate retina and optic nerve, restoring sight perfectly. This capability even extends to the body's fluids. In a case of severe hemorrhage, where a person is bleeding out, the nanites can replicate themselves and the red blood cells they inhabit, literally creating new blood to replace what is lost and maintain pressure and oxygen supply. This is the ultimate life-saving technique. It means that as long as the brain, the seat of consciousness, remains intact and the nanite network is functional, almost any injury can be overcome. The body is no longer a fragile, irreplaceable vessel. It is a dynamic, reconstructible platform. The nanites hold the blueprint and the tools to rebuild it from almost any level of destruction. This redefines the boundary between life and death. A person could be brought back from the brink of what we would consider certain death, their body rebuilt from the inside out by their silent, microscopic guardians. While the healing and replication capabilities are astonishing, the Blackwell technology was also designed to actively enhance the human body, to push it beyond its natural biological limits. This is not a sudden, jarring change, but rather a silent, gradual upgrade that optimizes the host's physical and sensory abilities. Once the nanites have fully integrated and repaired any underlying issues, they begin a subtle process of reinforcement and optimization. They work on the very fabric of the body, making it stronger, faster, and more perceptive. The recipient simply feels better, healthier, and more capable, often without realizing the true extent of their transformation. For example, the nanites can reinforce the structure of muscle fibers at a molecular level, making them more resilient and capable of generating more force. They can optimize the way motor neurons fire, creating more efficient and powerful muscle contractions. Simultaneously, they can enhance the circulatory system to deliver more oxygen and nutrients to these muscles, dramatically increasing stamina and reducing fatigue. The result is a person who can run faster, lift heavier weights, and perform physically for far longer than any unenhanced human. Their strength and endurance are not just increased, they are fundamentally redefined. The enhancements are not limited to the physical. The nanites can also refine the senses. Within the eye, they can optimize the photoreceptor cells in the retina, increasing their sensitivity to light. This can grant the ability to see clearly in near-total darkness. They can also expand the range of visible light, allowing the perception of infrared or ultraviolet frequencies. They can project a display of data and information from the mind's eye, causing it to appear in front of the individual. These displays can be manipulated using thought, fingertips, or otherwise.
In the ear, they can fine-tune the delicate hair cells of the cochlea, allowing the hearing of sounds at frequencies far above or below the normal human range. The senses of smell and touch can be similarly sharpened, creating a person who perceives the world with a richness and detail that is impossible for us to imagine. Even cognitive functions are subject to this silent upgrade. By optimizing the connections between neurons, increasing the speed of synaptic firing, and ensuring a perfect supply of oxygen and nutrients to the brain, the nanites can enhance memory, processing speed, and pattern recognition. Problem-solving becomes more intuitive, and learning new skills becomes faster. The person does not feel like a machine. They simply feel like the best possible version of themselves, their mind sharp and their body perfectly responsive. This seamless integration of technology and biology is what makes the Blackwell revolution so profound. It does not replace humanity, it elevates it.
Every monumental shift begins with a quiet spark. For Dr. Blackwell, it came late at night, tracing an anomaly in equations most dismissed. He realized it was a doorway, a deeper layer of reality, a master key to the universe. Overwhelmed, he knew the world was not ready. From that night, his journey became a secret one, dedicated to protecting and understanding his discovery. The weight of Dr. Blackwell's discovery was immense. Isolated from his peers, he retreated into secrecy, building the Blackwell Corporation as a fortress for his research. Hidden from the world, he became a solitary architect of a new science, sacrificing collaboration for a future free from disease and aging. In total secrecy, Dr. Blackwell laid the groundwork for the next stage of human evolution. Before a single nanoprocessor could be built, Dr. Blackwell spent a decade designing flawless code, entirely in his mind. Every calculation, every line, was committed to memory, ensuring absolute security. The only impenetrable vault was his own consciousness. For 10 years, his mind became a living computer, forging the foundation for a new form of life. Dr. Blackwell kept his discovery secret, not out of arrogance, but from a deep ethical conviction. He knew technology could be twisted for harm, and feared his nanotech would spark chaos. Invincible soldiers, assassination tools, and a new arms race. Until the world was ready, he chose to safeguard it, hoping for a future where it could benefit all humanity. After decades of work, Dr. Blackwell faced the ultimate test, injecting his own creation into himself. Alone in his lab, he became both subject and scientist, taking a leap of faith into the unknown. As the nanites entered his bloodstream, he monitored his vitals, witnessing the dawn of a new age. His technology worked. He had crossed the threshold into a new kind of existence. Dr. Blackwell became the first subject, not just to test safety, but to surpass his own cognitive limits. With nanites optimizing his brain, he transcended biology, unlocking perfect memory, rapid problem-solving, and a new wave of inventions. He was no longer just a scientist, but a force of nature. With his newly augmented cognitive abilities, Dr. Blackwell's creative output accelerated dramatically. His focus shifted from the microscopic world within to the vast expanse of the cosmos. The personal projects he had been struggling with were now within his grasp. These were not commercial products or incremental improvements on existing technology. They were radical inventions, born from his unique understanding of physics and built in secret. While the world remained unaware of the nanotech revolution brewing within him, the first hints of his new power began to appear, not on the ground, but in the skies above. Amateur astronomers and military radar operators began to spot unidentified craft moving through the atmosphere in ways that were simply impossible. These were not alien visitors. They were Dr. Blackwell's prototypes. These spacecraft exhibited characteristics that defied conventional aerodynamics and propulsion. They could accelerate instantaneously to hypersonic speeds, execute right-angle turns without inertia, and hover in complete silence. They were propelled by drive systems based on his secret physics, manipulating gravity and space-time directly. These were not just vehicles. They were tangible proof of a technology generations beyond our own, silent whispers of the genius at work below. These spacefaring inventions were the logical extension of his life's work. Having conquered the limitations of the human body, he now sought to conquer the limitations of distance and gravity. He envisioned a future where humanity could travel between planets as easily as we now travel between continents. His new ships were the first step toward that future. They were built for a new type of human, the enhanced individual who could withstand the incredible forces these craft could generate. The synergy between his two great inventions, the nanites and the new spacecraft, was clear. One remade the explorer, and the other provided the vessel for their exploration. Dr. Blackwell himself was likely the pilot of these test flights, his enhanced reflexes and processing speed making him uniquely qualified to control such advanced machines. For him, these flights were more than just experiments. They were moments of freedom, a chance to soar above the world that he had retreated from, to touch the stars he had once only reached with mathematics. These occasional fleeting appearances in our skies were the only public-facing evidence of his true capabilities. To most, they were mysteries, fodder for conspiracy theories. But to the very few who might have suspected the truth, they were a profound and awe-inspiring sign of the future that was secretly being built. Dr. Blackwell's greatest secret was locked in his blood. His nanites stored all his discoveries, encrypted and scattered through his veins, making him a living vault. If he died, the knowledge would vanish forever. The nanites' prime directive: protect their host and the library of knowledge he had become. Dr. Blackwell had reached the summit of human achievement, free from disease, aging, and fear. Yet, at this peak, he found only solitude. His power set him apart, building an invisible prison of uniqueness. Now he faced his greatest challenge, preparing the world for his gift, and finding a way for others to join him at the summit. For the first to receive the Blackwell upgrade, change is almost imperceptible. No sudden jolt, just a subtle current of wellness. Trillions of nanites work silently, tuning every function, like a tireless co-pilot. Life becomes smoother, energy steady, and illness fades away. The silent co-pilot sets a new standard, readying you for what's next. For the enhanced, everyday injuries heal in seconds, cuts close instantly, bones mend stronger than before, and chronic illnesses vanish. Freed from disease, they enjoy vibrant health and energy at any age. At 80, they move with the vitality of youth, living proof that aging is now a solved problem. Enhanced individuals push the limits of human performance, running farther, lifting more, and reacting faster than ever before. Nanites optimize every movement, making fatigue and recovery a thing of the past. This is a new era, where physical boundaries are completely redefined. The transformation that comes with the Blackwell technology is not confined to physical prowess. It extends to the very way an individual perceives the world around them. The nanites can fine-tune and enhance the sensory organs, opening up a spectrum of perception far beyond the normal human range. This process is gradual, a slow broadening of the senses that enriches the host's experience of reality. The world does not just become clearer, it becomes deeper, more detailed, and filled with information that was previously invisible and unheard. The user is gifted with a new layer of sensory input, a more intimate connection with their environment. Consider the sense of sight. The nanites within the retina can increase the sensitivity of the rod and cone cells, granting exceptional night vision. A moonless night in the forest, which would be pitch black to a normal human, appears as a softly lit landscape in shades of gray. Furthermore, the nanites can be programmed to translate wavelengths outside the visible spectrum, such as infrared, into visible signals. This would allow a person to see heat signatures, to spot a living creature hiding in the undergrowth, or to see the residual warmth of footsteps on the floor. The world of light becomes a far richer and more complex tapestry. The sense of hearing undergoes a similar augmentation.
The nanites can repair and optimize the delicate hair cells in the cochlea, not only restoring perfect hearing, but expanding its range. An enhanced individual could hear the high-frequency calls of bats or the low-frequency rumbles of distant geological activity. They could also filter and focus their hearing, isolating a single conversation in a loud, crowded room with perfect clarity, as if they were standing right next to the speakers. The cacophony of the world can be tuned and organized, transforming noise into pure, understandable information and subtle, previously unheard music. Even the chemical senses of smell and taste are elevated to new heights. The nanites can increase the number and sensitivity of olfactory receptors, granting a sense of smell comparable to that of a bloodhound. An enhanced person could track a scent trail, identify the individual ingredients in a complex perfume from a distance, or even detect subtle chemical changes in the air that signal an approaching rainstorm. Every meal becomes an explosion of complex flavors, and every breath carries a universe of information. This new world of sensation makes life for the enhanced a fundamentally richer and more detailed experience, a constant source of wonder and discovery.
The enhancements provided by the Blackwell technology transform the human body into the ultimate survival tool, making it possible for individuals to endure environments and situations that would be instantly fatal to an ordinary person. This opens up entirely new frontiers for exploration, not just in space, but here on Earth. The most forbidding and inaccessible places on our own planet, the crushing depths of the ocean, the frozen wastes of Antarctica, or the oxygen-thin peaks of the highest mountains, become accessible without the need for cumbersome and restrictive external equipment. The body itself becomes the life support system, adapting in real time to extreme pressures. Imagine an explorer venturing into the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth. An unenhanced human would be crushed instantly by the immense pressure. An enhanced individual's nanites, however, would detect the increasing external pressure and begin to reinforce every cell in the body. They would manage the gases within the bloodstream to prevent them from compressing and strengthen the skeletal structure to withstand the incredible forces. The explorer could swim freely in the abyssal depths, their body perfectly equalized, observing the strange life forms of this alien world with their own enhanced eyes, breathing a liquid medium filtered by their nanites.
Similarly, an expedition to the summit of Mount Everest would no longer be a life-threatening ordeal. As the explorer ascends into the death zone, where the air is too thin to support life, their nanites would dramatically increase the oxygen-carrying capacity of their red blood cells. They would optimize every molecule of oxygen inhaled, ensuring the brain and muscles receive everything they need. They would also maintain the body's core temperature with perfect efficiency, eliminating the risk of hypothermia from the biting cold and wind. The explorer could stand on the roof of the world, breathing easily and feeling invigorated, not exhausted. This resilience also extends to surviving disasters. An enhanced firefighter could walk into a burning building, their nanites filtering smoke and toxins from their lungs while protecting their tissues from the intense heat. A person trapped under the rubble of a collapsed building after an earthquake could survive for weeks without food or water. Their nanites would lower their metabolism into a state of suspended animation, recycling waste products and harvesting moisture from the air to keep their cells hydrated. The will to survive is matched by a body that has the technical means to do so, turning tales of miraculous survival into a predictable outcome.
The ultimate test of the Blackwell technology's adaptive capabilities lies beyond Earth, in the exploration of other planets. Mars, our celestial neighbor, presents a perfect test case. It is a world of extremes: a thin atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide, surface temperatures that can plummet to -125 degrees Celsius, and gravity that is only 38% of Earth's. For an unenhanced astronaut, survival outside a habitat or vehicle is impossible without a bulky, complex spacesuit. But for an enhanced explorer, a trip to the Martian surface would be a profoundly different and more intimate experience, a true walk on another world. Upon stepping onto the red soil, the explorer's nanite network would immediately assess the hostile environment and begin a series of radical, real-time adaptations.
To solve the problem of breathing, the nanites in the respiratory system would reconfigure the lungs to extract the sparse oxygen from the Martian carbon dioxide atmosphere, expelling the waste carbon. This process, a form of accelerated, artificial extremophile adaptation, would allow the explorer to breathe the alien air directly. It might not be comfortable at first, but it would be sustainable, freeing them from the reliance on a limited supply of compressed air. To combat the intense cold, the nanites would ramp up the body's metabolic rate, turning it into a highly efficient internal furnace. They would precisely regulate heat production and distribution, ensuring the body's core temperature remains stable even when the external temperature drops far below freezing. The skin itself could be made more resilient to the cold and the low pressure. Simultaneously, the nanites would manage the body's response to the lower gravity, stimulating muscles and bone to prevent the atrophy that plagues astronauts on long-duration missions. The body would be actively fighting the debilitating effects of an alien environment. This level of adaptation would revolutionize planetary exploration. Scientists would no longer be separated from their subject by layers of technology. A geologist could feel the texture of a Martian rock with their own hands, and an astrobiologist could use their enhanced sense of smell to detect trace chemicals in the soil that might indicate past or present life. The exploration of Mars would become a far more efficient, intuitive, and personal endeavor. The enhanced human would not be merely a visitor to an alien world. They would be a temporary inhabitant, their biology transformed to become one with the planet they are exploring.
The dream of interstellar travel, of journeys to the stars, has always been hindered by two great obstacles: the immense distances and the fragility of the human body. A trip to even the nearest star system, Proxima Centauri, would take tens of thousands of years with our current technology. Even with theoretical faster-than-light travel, the journey would be long and perilous. The human body is not designed for the rigors of deep space. It is susceptible to cosmic radiation, bone density loss, muscle atrophy, and the profound psychological stress of isolation. The Blackwell technology addresses every one of these challenges, creating a pioneer built for the void. Cosmic radiation is one of the most significant dangers. High-energy particles can shred DNA and cause cancer. The nanites provide a two-tiered defense. First, they can configure the body to generate a low-level personal electromagnetic field to deflect some of the incoming radiation. Second, and more importantly, they act as a ceaseless repair crew. Any DNA damage caused by a particle strike is detected and repaired instantly, before it can lead to a mutation. This constant, vigilant repair means that an enhanced astronaut could endure the radiation environment of deep space for centuries, without any long-term health effects. The physical decay caused by zero gravity is another major hurdle. Without the constant stress of gravity, bones lose calcium and muscles waste away. The nanites render this problem obsolete. They can artificially stimulate bone and muscle cells, mimicking the effects of gravity at a cellular level. They would essentially trick the body into thinking it was still in a 1G environment, maintaining peak physical condition throughout a long voyage. The astronaut would arrive at their destination star system as strong and healthy as the day they left Earth, ready to explore a new world. Finally, the psychological challenges of a multi-generational journey are immense. The nanites can play a crucial role here as well. They can regulate the brain's neurochemistry, preventing depression and anxiety, and maintaining a stable, positive mood. They could also manage the body's circadian rhythms, allowing for periods of controlled hibernation or suspended animation to make the long years pass like a dream. The deep space pioneer would be a new kind of human, perfectly adapted for the long night between the stars. Their body a self-sustaining ark, carrying the seed of humanity to new homes in the galaxy. Becoming more than human is not just a physical or sensory transformation. It is also a profound psychological one. The removal of biological fragility fundamentally alters a person's relationship with risk, danger, and their own mortality. Fear, one of our most primal and powerful emotions, is largely a product of our vulnerability. We fear heights because we can fall and break. We fear predators because they can harm us. We fear disease because it can kill us. When the consequences of these dangers are removed, the fear itself begins to change, evolving from a raw, survival-driven instinct into something more abstract and manageable. An enhanced individual knows, on a deeply ingrained level, that a fall will not kill them, that a wound will heal instantly, and that a virus cannot take hold. This knowledge does not necessarily eliminate the emotion of fear. The nanites are programmed to allow for normal emotional responses, but it reframes it. The immediate gut-wrenching terror of a life-threatening situation is replaced by a more detached sense of caution and assessment.
An enhanced soldier in a firefight might still feel an adrenaline response, but it is not clouded by the panic of self-preservation. Their mind remains clear, focused, and strategic, allowing them to perform with incredible efficiency under pressure. This new relationship with fear can lead to a tremendous sense of personal freedom and courage. Activities that were once considered extreme or reckless become accessible avenues for exploration and joy. An enhanced person might take up free solo rock climbing, not out of a death wish, but for the pure exhilaration of the climb, secure in the knowledge that a slip would not be catastrophic. They could explore the world with a newfound boldness, driven by curiosity rather than held back by anxiety. This psychological liberation is one of the most significant, life-altering aspects of the transformation.
However, this shift also carries a potential danger, the risk of losing one's sense of perspective and empathy. A person who no longer fears for their own life might struggle to understand the very real fears of the unenhanced people around them. They might become reckless, not just with their own safety, but with the safety of others, simply because the consequences feel less real to them.
This creates a new psychological and ethical challenge for the enhanced, learning to live with their newfound invulnerability in a world that remains fragile, and cultivating empathy and caution even when their own survival is no longer in question.
Blackwell's technology introduces a new era, the dawn of the enhanced, creating a biological divide. Enhanced individuals transcend aging and disease, challenging societal norms. As their numbers grow, society must adapt to this new reality. The unenhanced may fear obsolescence, while the enhanced might feel superior. Dr. Blackwell's secrecy stemmed from these fears. The transition to a post-human future demands careful management. Can we evolve without losing our humanity? This is not just a technological milestone, it's an ethical test for our species. A groundbreaking document appeared at the UN, proposing a future for humanity. Authored by ethicists and scientists, it addressed nanobiotechnology's potential and risks. The document argued this technology should belong to all, not a select few. It challenged corporate secrecy, advocating for shared global management. The proposal warned against a divided humanity of enhanced elites and unenhanced majorities. It called for global cooperation to prevent a dystopian future. The document sparked international debate, confronting corporate power. It asked if human evolution would be a shared journey or a story of division. The UN document drew parallels to the open-source software movement. Open-source projects like Linux fueled technological progress through collaboration. The document suggested applying this model to nanobiotechnology. Open designs would allow global scientists to innovate and improve. This approach would accelerate development and ensure safety. The analogy reframed the debate as a logical step in collaborative science. Openness fosters innovation, while secrecy breeds stagnation. An open-source approach could democratize human evolution. The UN proposal declared nanobiotechnology a common heritage of humankind. This designation implies shared responsibility for future generations. The power to rewrite biology transcends individual ownership. It must be managed as a public good, accessible to all. The proposal aimed to prevent a biologically stratified world. An international body would oversee development and distribution. This framework would ensure ethical and equitable use. It called for global cooperation to manage this powerful technology. The UN proposal insisted on peaceful development of nanobiotechnology. The technology's dual-use potential posed existential threats. A global ban on military applications was proposed. Open-source designs would deter weaponization. An international ethics council would guide technology's evolution. The proposal emphasized embedding ethics from the start. It called for using technology to build a better world. This was a collective choice for peace and progress. The UN proposal challenged the power held by Dr. Blackwell. A monopoly on transformative technology is inherently dangerous. It creates a single point of failure and stifles progress. The world would depend on one entity for its future. Secrecy breeds mistrust and international tension. The proposal advocated for open science to prevent conflict. Breaking the monopoly would foster collaboration and trust. The future should be built together, not fought over in secrecy. The United Nations proposed open-source nanobiotechnology to accelerate progress for all. One mind or company can't match the power of global collaboration. Opening the technology would unleash collective intelligence, letting millions innovate, specialize, and solve problems together. This is the most responsible way to maximize benefits and minimize risks, through worldwide cooperation. New technologies like Blackwell's spark fear and mistrust, especially when they alter our biology. Secrecy only deepens these anxieties. Openness and transparency, like open-source models, let the public see, question, and understand. Global, democratic oversight ensures everyone has a voice in shaping our future. Only trust can guide us into a hopeful, transhuman tomorrow. The world expected Dr. Blackwell to fight the UN's call for openness. But in a stunning move, he endorsed the proposal, pledging to share his nanotech as a common heritage of humankind. His support transformed the debate, turning conflict into collaboration and giving humanity the tools to shape its own future. His greatest act was not invention, but letting go for the good of all. We stand at a pivotal moment in the story of life. For the first time, a species can seize control of its own biological destiny. Dr. Blackwell's revolution marks the end of evolution by chance and the beginning of evolution by choice. Blackwell nanites are the key to a post-human future, where disease, injury, and aging become obsolete. The world is about to change forever, and we are all invited to be a part of it. The power to guide our evolution is our greatest gift and our heaviest burden. With this comes a responsibility no generation has faced before. The ethical questions are urgent, practical challenges for us all, demanding wisdom and care. We must ensure this technology lifts everyone, not just a privileged few. Our shared future depends on global cooperation, so that this power unites, not divides, humanity. Despite immense challenges, Blackwell's technology brings a dazzling hope. A world free from the frailties of our bodies. Imagine every child born with the promise of a long, healthy life. Freed from suffering, humanity can unlock new creativity, heal our planet, and reach for the stars. Dr. Blackwell has expanded his work to involve quantum nanotechnology. To truly understand these tiny computers, let's break down the concept of quantum nanotechnology and see why it's so revolutionary. Nanotechnology means working at the scale of atoms and molecules. the smallest building blocks of everything around us, from the air we breathe to the devices in our pockets. Scientists use nanotechnology to create stronger materials, smarter medicines, and even new ways to deliver drugs by controlling matter at this minuscule level, atom by atom. Now, add quantum to the mix, and things get wild. Quantum mechanics is the science of the subatomic, where particles can be in multiple places at once, teleport information, and connect across distances in ways that seem impossible. Quantum nanotechnology combines these two fields, building machines and devices that use the strange, powerful rules of the quantum world to do things classical machines never could. Unlike regular computers that use bits, ones or zeros, quantum computers use qubits, which can be both at once. This lets them process vast amounts of information incredibly fast, solving problems that would take normal computers years. Blackwell's blood cell computers are nano-sized and quantum-powered, making them fundamentally different and far more capable than anything we've seen before. This lets a device hidden inside a blood cell analyze its environment, process complex data, and make decisions in real time, all while remaining invisible to the naked eye. By merging nano and quantum, we're not just shrinking computers, we're reinventing what computers can do, opening up possibilities we're only beginning to imagine. Science fiction is becoming science fact, and the future of technology is unfolding at the smallest scales imaginable. Let's explore superposition, a mind-bending quantum idea. Picture a spinning coin. While in the air, it's both heads and tails. In quantum mechanics, particles can truly exist in multiple states at once. A qubit, the heart of a quantum computer, can be 0, 1, or both at the same time. This means quantum computers can process countless possibilities simultaneously. For a nanobot in your bloodstream, this is game-changing. It can analyze glucose, viruses, and oxygen all at once. Classical computers check things one by one. Quantum nanobots multitask on a massive scale. Blackwell's engineers use superposition to give their nanobots this superpower. One quantum nanobot can do the work of thousands of classical ones. It's like having a team of detectives instead of just one. Superposition isn't just theory, it's the engine behind the next generation of medical technology. That's why these blood cell computers are so powerful. Now let's talk about entanglement. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. When two particles are entangled, their states are linked, no matter how far apart they are. Change one, and the other instantly changes too, even across galaxies. In quantum computers, entangled qubits work as a single system, boosting power and stability. Entanglement helps correct errors, making quantum computers more reliable. For Blackwell's nanobots, entanglement could mean instant communication between bots in different parts of the body. Imagine a nanobot in your brain instantly syncing with one near your heart, coordinating a response in real time. This turns a swarm of nanobots into a single intelligent network. Entanglement isn't just weird. It's the secret to synchronized, powerful medical technology. The future of medicine is connected at the quantum level. So, what can these quantum-powered nanobots actually do? Their main advantage is speed, solving problems millions of times faster than today's supercomputers. Inside your body, a nanobot faces a flood of data molecules, chemical changes, and more. Quantum computing lets it analyze this chaos in real time, spotting cancer cells, viruses, or toxins instantly. In drug discovery, these bots could simulate how medicines interact with your body, testing thousands of options per second. Personalized medicine could become the norm, tailored to your unique biology. These nanobots can also learn, using quantum machine learning to recognize healthy patterns and flag early signs of trouble. This shifts medicine from reactive to proactive, catching problems before you feel sick. It's like having a super smart detective inside every cell. The future of healthcare is fast, smart, and deeply personal. Quantum mechanics isn't just about computing, it's about sensing too. Quantum sensors use the extreme sensitivity of qubits to detect the tiniest changes in their environment. A nanobot with a quantum sensor could spot a single cancer cell by sensing its unique magnetic field, long before a tumor forms. Diseases could be detected at stage 0, not stage 4. These sensors can also identify specific chemicals, like viral proteins, for instant diagnosis. For chronic diseases, nanobots could monitor biomarkers in real time, alerting you or adjusting treatment automatically. Quantum sensors could even map brain activity at the level of single neurons, unlocking mysteries of the mind. They could track how medicines move through your body, optimizing treatment. With quantum eyes, we'll see our biology in ways never before possible. Early detection and deep understanding are now within reach. Quantum nanobots aren't just doctors, they're healers. Working at a scale so small, they can reach places no surgeon's hand ever could. If a nanobot finds a cancer cell, it can deliver a precise dose of medicine directly to it, sparing healthy cells and avoiding harsh side effects. This means treatments could become far more effective and gentle, transforming the way we fight disease. For injuries, swarms of nanobots could clear damaged tissue and guide new growth, speeding up healing. Imagine recovering from a broken bone or torn muscle in days instead of weeks, with less pain and fewer complications. They could even assemble proteins or growth factors, rebuilding tissue stronger than before. This technology could help regenerate organs, nerves, or even skin, offering hope for injuries once thought permanent. For genetic diseases, nanobots could find faulty genes and use CRISPR to fix DNA errors, potentially curing the disease at its source. This could mean a future where inherited conditions are no longer a life sentence. Beyond dramatic cures, these bots could patrol your body, breaking down artery plaque, removing aging cells, and performing routine maintenance. They could act as microscopic guardians, always on watch for early signs of trouble. This could extend not just lifespan, but health span, keeping us healthier, longer. People could enjoy more active years, free from the burden of chronic illness. Imagine a future where illness is rare and wellness is actively maintained from within. Healthcare could shift from treating sickness to preserving vitality. Quantum nanobots make proactive, precision medicine possible, allowing us to detect and address problems before symptoms even appear. The line between treatment and prevention is about to disappear, as technology empowers us to take control of our health like never before. The future of health is inside every cell, where healing truly begins. Quantum nanotechnology's impact goes far beyond medicine. In environmental science, swarms of nanobots could clean oceans and air, detecting and neutralizing pollutants molecule by molecule. In materials science, they could build super-strong, ultralight materials atom by atom, revolutionizing everything from batteries to spacecraft. Quantum communication could create an unhackable internet. If anyone tries to intercept a message, the quantum state changes, and the breach is detected instantly. This means perfectly private, secure data transfer for everything from banking to national security. Quantum computers can also simulate complex systems, from the origins of the universe to climate change, unlocking new scientific discoveries. They could solve the mysteries of protein folding, leading to breakthroughs in biology and medicine. With quantum nanotechnology, we gain a tool to understand and shape the universe at every scale. The possibilities are as vast as the quantum realm itself. The world is about to change, at the smallest and largest levels. We're at the start of a new technological revolution, the quantum age. Just as microchips launched the digital era, quantum nanotechnology is transforming our world at the cellular level. Building computers that fit inside our cells and harness quantum forces is a milestone in human history. There are challenges ahead, technical, ethical, and social, but the potential is too great to ignore. These tiny computers are the first step toward a future where technology and biology are seamlessly integrated. We'll cure diseases, protect our planet, and unlock the universe's secrets. The line between science fiction and reality is vanishing. The quantum age is here, an era of wonder, discovery, and progress for all humanity. The future is incredibly small and incredibly powerful.